Hello and welcome to the lecture on creating inline CSS. So let's start writing our CSS into your HTML file. Okay, for that I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to call it introduction to CSS. Okay, we have looked at what is CSS, so I'm going to give it a name called what is CSS. So this is aligned with our material folder. Then I'm going to start creating the inline CSS with numbering too. Okay, so we'll create our example here, and I'm going to call the file name as inline.html. okay, so you'll understand how to write inline CSS. All right, so we go to our brackets. So instead of intermediate HTML, we'll change the folder. Now we'll change to introduction to CSS. I will select this folder. Okay, anyway, we need our boilerplate code, so we'll open that as also. Let's open this up. Okay, let's copy this, put our inline, paste it here. We'll say inline here, inline here. Okay, so what is meaning of inline? Inline means writing CSS inside the tag. Okay, that is what inline means. Okay, so let me write it up. Inline CSS means writing CSS rules inside the HTML tags. Okay, you don't need to write in a separate file and include them. You can directly write in the HTML tag as well. That is called as inline CSS. Okay, before that, we're going to view this output. We're going to see what are the default settings from the browser. Then we'll try to change them. Okay, so you see the heading and paragraph look like that. It's black in color. So we'll try to apply our rule and try to change this default settings. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to open the live preview so that we can work together and make changes and then see output. All right, so I'm going to add some rules here. So heading, we will try to change it to red color. Keep things simple. Let's try to understand how to write an inline CSS. Okay, so there is an attribute called style, and this attribute is available to all the HTML tags. Okay, any HTML tag you take, you can add this attribute called style. Okay, and inside the style you can directly write the CSS rule. As and go we learn about CSS, you will learn more about rules, but a simple rule is a color, and color could be red. Right, once I save this, you don't need to save as well, the color is changed to red. So what I have done is I have overridden the default setting from the browser with my settings. Okay, now I'm controlling the web page. Okay, if you say blue, then that's become blue. If you say red, it becomes red. Okay, this is the power of CSS. You're trying to styling the page. Okay, similarly for the paragraph, now you will say style. Okay, you want to change the font weight to bold, so you can say font weight and you can simply say bold. Okay, it becomes bold there. Instead of that, what we used to do is, right, without styling, what we used to do in HTML, we used to say strong. Remember, right, we used to do this. Let's put this T here. All right, but looks exactly the same, but here we are trying to change that bold via the CSS. Okay, this is highly recommended. Okay, but it's not recommended to write CSS inline. Okay, doesn't look healthy, because if you have too many inlines, then it's hard to read. Okay, but if for simple changes, you can still continue to use strong, because that's also a standard. You can still continue to use strong to bold the text. But if you want to bold really the complete paragraph or the div tags, then you can try to go ahead with this style sheet. But as of now, try to remember what is inline CSS means. Inline means writing inside the tag. Okay, and remember there is an attribute called style that is available for all the tags of the HTML, and you can, once you say style is equal to, the value is the rule of the CSS. Okay, so you can change the color, you can change the font, you can increase the size, and you can do anything that you want with the CSS. Okay, you are basically changing the default style that is browser is having. You're trying to change it to your specific rules. All right, so that's all about inline CSS. Next we'll look different type of CSS.